Welcome back. Jim O'Callahan, President and CEO of the South County EDC. It's my pleasure this morning to actually introduce not only our next speaker, but one of our first awards. The South County EDC likes to recognize businesses and community organizations throughout the South County. This first award couldn't be a more amazing award or more appropriate as this year has developed and what we see into the future. So it's my pleasure to introduce the Greg Cox Pioneer Award. This award is presented to a leader or business in the community whose visionary contributions have broken traditional societal, political, or economic barriers, whereby opening doors and setting a new course for the South County region. This year, our awardee is the Port of San Diego, and the main reason they were chosen and awarded was due to the amazing Bayfront we're about to hear about and all the economic prosperity it will help lead in the region. Over the coming years, we're going to see tremendous investment spearheaded by this project. You'll see placemaking, which will help us attract great jobs and residents to the community. You'll see enhancements region-wide, not just locally to the project. So I would like to introduce Port Commissioner Ann Moore, who will accept the award. Ann was sworn into the Board of Port Commissioners on January 13th of 2011 to represent the city of Chula Vista. Moore served as Chula Vista's city attorney and has practiced law for more than 20 years with extensive experience in land use, real estate, redevelopment, environmental, and municipal law. Moore represents both developers and governmental agencies in processing land use entitlements for large-scale residential, commercial, and industrial projects. Her areas of expertise include the California Environmental Quality Act, subdivision map, eminent domain, inverse condemnation, Endangered Species Act, public infrastructure financing, the Brown Act, and conflict of interest laws. Moore graduated from San Diego State University with a public administration degree, and she earned her law degree at the University of San Diego Law School. Welcome, Ann Moore.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And I have to say, it's my honor to accept this award on behalf of the Port. The South County EDC has been a great partner with the Port in moving this project forward. And I think it's very appropriate that the Greg Cox Pioneer Award is given to the Port for the Chula Vista Master Bayfront Plan in particular, because of his contributions to the Chula Vista Bayfront Plan as well. So thank you again for this wonderful award. And I am very anxious to bring it back and present it to the entire board at our next board meeting next week. So thank you. Really appreciate the award. So good morning, Chairman Armis, members of the EDC board, and CEO Jim O'Callahan. Thank you for inviting me here today to talk about the Chula Vista Master Bayfront Plan. If you haven't been down to the Chula Vista Bayfront lately, I encourage you to visit soon. We completed 2 projects earlier this year and will soon be breaking ground on our centerpiece project. I couldn't be more thrilled to see the transformation that is happening on the Chula Vista Bayfront right now. I have personally been involved in this project for about 20 years, both while I was the Chula Vista city attorney and as a port commissioner. Next slide, please. The Chula Vista Master Bayfront Plan started with the vision of then Mayor Padilla that the Bayfront should be jointly planned by the city, the Port of San Diego, and the community. The public participation in developing this plan was a key component of the Bayfront Plan. Hundreds of public meetings were held, resulting in the plan being backed by the city, port, interested stakeholders like the South County EDC, environmentalists, developers, and community groups. In fact, South County EDC was among the original stakeholders, and many of you have been among our most vocal supporters. And in 2012, this visionary master plan was unanimously approved by the California Coastal Commission. The Chula Vista Master Plan spans approximately 535 acres and calls for a substantial amount of public access and infrastructure, including parks, open space, habitat preservation, roads, and waterways. There's also a resort hotel and a convention center, plus additional hotels, condos, retail, and supporting infrastructure. The plan will be implemented by both the Port and and the city of Chula Vista. For several years, we focused on demolition, including the implosion of an old power plant and environmental remediation. We even completed some public infrastructure improvements, including the 8th Street extension. Next slide, please. So here's another look with a focus on the northern part of the Bayfront, known as the Sweetwater District, which before this year had little public access or recreational opportunities. Now we have a new RV resort and a new bicycle and pedestrian path that links to the Bayshore Bikeway. Next slide, please. The new RV resort, operated by Sun Communities, opened in April and is located at East Street and Bay Boulevard near the Living Coast Discovery Center. The premier West Coast RV resort features a mix of RV sites and vacation cottage rentals with a variety of upscale resort amenities, including a cafe, a bar, indoor-outdoor gym, arcade, a welcome center, and a pool with great views of the San Diego Bay. Sun has also built walking trails and other public improvements on and around the site, helping to connect the public to the newly opened Sweetwater Bicycle Path and Promenade, Sweetwater Marsh, and the Living Coast Discovery Center. Next slide, please. So here are a couple shots of the vacation cottages. There are 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom models available with decks and outdoor fire pits. These cottages provide opportunities for people without RVs to enjoy the area as well. Next slide, please. We also celebrated this year with the opening of the Sweetwater Bicycle Path and Promenade, which starts and ends just outside the new RV resort. If you haven't already checked it out, I invite you to go down there and enjoy a walk or bike ride with beautiful views of the San Diego Bay. It connects Sweetwater District to the Harbor District, where the Bayside Park, marinas, and in the future, the Gaylord Pacific Resort and Convention Center is located. Next slide, please. So here, Gaylord Pacific is the centerpiece of the Chula Vista Bayfront plan. Over the past year or so, we've been working behind the scenes to ensure this project is done right and is fiscally sustainable for our future. It will be a catalyst for development of more hotels, restaurants, and retail, as Gaylord hotels have done throughout the country. We are closer now than we ever have been to having a world-class hotel and convention center in the South Bay. Very exciting. We continue to work with the City of Chula Vista and RITA to secure financing for the project. More on that in just a minute. The total cost is estimated to be approximately $1.2 billion. That includes the resort hotel, convention center, parking structure, and associated public infrastructure and parks. RITA is contributing approximately $875 million, with the port and the city investing approximately $350 million in the Bayfront. Next slide, please. We are very proud that Chula Vista will be Gaylord's first West Coast location. It will have approximately 1,600 hotel rooms, a convention center with 4 ballrooms, 3 levels of meeting space, and 2 outdoor meeting and event lawns, as well as multiple restaurants, resort-style pool, and an array of recreational facilities. The public will have access to the various areas of the hotel, including the restaurants and shops, as well as to the pool via day passes that can be purchased by the public. To ensure connectivity to the wider Chula Vista Bayfront, this project will have many public amenities, including pedestrian promenades, bicycle access, a variety of kiosks for food and beverage, game activities, and a playground. You have our next slide up. Here's where we are in the financing process. In June, we finalized critical leasing, financing, and construction documents, which specifically set up the mechanisms for the Chula Vista City to contribute funds toward the payment of debt service on the public financing and the construction of the public infrastructure improvements and convention center. We then filed a validation action, which is nearing completion, so we are currently preparing to enter the public market to secure the bond funding. This will allow us to close escrow and break ground early next year. In fact, RITA's general contractor has begun some site preparation and utility work to prepare for the start of construction. They even sent us a 100-page schedule. The Port and City team is keeping this complex project on track, even with the COVID-19 pandemic. From the beginning, we have said that the Bayfront will pay for itself, and it will. Simply put, we will be using various public revenues generated by the Bayfront to pay the bonds for building the roads, parks, utilities, and other infrastructure that is needed for this project. We've set it up so that the private investment will help us to pay for the parks and other public infrastructure that will allow public access to the Bayfront. RITA is targeting early 2025 for the opening of the hotel. Next slide, please. When Gaylord Pacific opens, we will have an expanded Bayside Park and a brand new park called the Sweetwater Park. The Port and the City, along with KTUNA and Peterson Studios, conducted extensive community outreach in 2018 and 2019 to help plan the parks on the Bayfront, including Sweetwater Park. We are finalizing the design for the Sweetwater Park and anticipate construction to begin after RITA breaks ground on the Resort Hotel and Convention Center. Next slide, please. Sweetwater Park is envisioned as a meadow-type open space that will showcase the unique natural assets of the San Diego Bay and encourage passive recreation to complement the adjacent Sweetwater Marsh and the National Refuge. Next slide, please. Features include meadows and specialty gardens, mounded grasslands, a nature playground, picnic area, sand dunes, multiple overlooks for bayfront viewing, and native plant species. Next slide, please. We also planned the Harbor Park with help from the community. Seen here in concept at full build-out is the park, and it provides signature amenities, recreational opportunities, and programming. Harbor Park will be developed in phases. Next slide, please. Here's a look at the first phase, which will focus on Northwest shoreline improvements, including an enlarged and improved beach surrounded by terrace seating, a boat launch for kayaks and paddleboards and other personal watercraft, north and south meadows with paths and picnic tables, formal multi-use lawns and large public gathering areas at the north and south ends, pedestrian and bicycle improvements, and a visitor hub with a refreshment stand at the south end. Next slide, please. Future improvements will include an interactive fountain, children and family play area, cafe and beach rental building, and a new pier at the end of 8th Street for additional bay and skyline viewing. Next slide, please. Finally, an important element of our public parks is its artwork, and the Port is committed to ensuring distinguished artists are involved in our 2 new parks in Chula Vista. To ensure collaboration and broad input, the Port worked with the Port's Arts and Cultural Design Committee, the Chula Vista Cultural Arts Commission, and the Bayfront Cultural Design Committee, as well as the park design consultants and community members. And as a result of this process, renowned artist Roberto Salas has been selected as the project artist for Sweetwater Park. We soon will be scheduling Meet the Artist outreach events for the community at large in early 2022 to have conversations and gather input to help inform the artist concept. Next slide, please. In closing, the Chula Vista Bayfront will contribute to our economic development and create thousands of jobs. Overall, our economic analysis shows the Chula Vista Bayfront project will create 10,000 construction jobs and 20,000 permanent jobs for our region. We are mindful that this Bayfront is an integral part of the Chula Vista community and that it must be inviting and accessible to everyone in the South Bay region. So I want to thank South County EDC for your continued partnership and advocacy and support to continue to move this project forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Moore, and we look forward to the development as it goes on.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate the opportunity for being here today, and thank you again for the wonderful award.
Congratulations. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye.